Okay, so this is a Digico Sd12, probably the lower to middle end of the Digico range. I'll just take you through my mix for Jason Hero, who played last night. So on channels 1 through 12, I got kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom. If you look up here, the snare bottom is phase reverse because the mics are facing each other. Got rack tom 1, rack tom 2, floor tom, overhead left, overhead right. I got samples coming in stereo, left and right, and then up across the board I've got bass guitar, 2 electric guitar channels, keyboard 1, keyboard 2 wasn't being used, keyboard 3, keyboard 4, and then further up the desk I got 4 vocals. So main vocal was Jason Hero on drums, Olivia was a backup, we had a dedicated backup singer, and there was another artist called Blackie U who did a few songs. Now the basic workflow that I got going on SD12 is really straightforward. It's channel strip, so it emulates the analog world. So if you're working on a channel, first thing is gain, hit gain, you've now got control of your gain pot. Finish with gain, high pass filter, got control of your high pass filter. EQ is next down the strip, everything's expandable, so work our way down. We've dealt with EQ, we start looking at compression, if we're using any, gating, and then into auxiliary sends, which in this case I'm using for effects. So there's a hall, moving up, so there's a drum plate reverb and a hall reverb for instruments, and then a vocal plate and a vocal hall for vocals, and then I've got 2 delays, an echo and a slap, and I use all of them. They go out auxiliary sends, so these are the aux masters, and then they return back into normal channels on the desk, which I then send them back into the mix. In terms of the PA, it's a little bit more complicated than you used to. We've got a normal master fader just like a normal mix, which is this here, but it's not actually routed anywhere. The master fader is actually sent to these matrices. These matrices are left, right, subs and fill. So what I do is I dial left from the master into the left matrix and send it to the PA, right to the right matrix, send it to the PA. Then I dial in left and right, send that to the subs, and left and right, and send that to the fill. Then what I've got is an overall PA fader on my right hand side of the console, but I can also adjust the individual feeds in case there's too much bass or I need a little bit more up front. I've also got something funky happening here. This is called a Mixswitch. This thing here enables us to have 2 front of house consoles running side by side, and we just flick console A or console B. So at the moment I've got both consoles off because we're not in show.
Could I just have a close-up of just press those again?
Yeah, so that would be console A, we'd have that ready to go, or we'd flip over to B, have that ready to go, and if we had no consoles ready, we can still run music and a microphone straight into the switch. So I can get music going without even having a sound console currently turned on this switch. Great for festivals and great for changeovers. So for the moment, I'm just going to turn that back on. Actually, turn that back off. And so now we're kind of ready for show. So I'm just going to load the show that we're actually dealing with, which is Amy Hetherington today. I'm going to load that. Wait till that starts up and open the PA. And we've got a bit of music happening. All right, so that's front of house. The last component of front of house is I've got this laptop here. This is directly connected to the amplifiers. So I can monitor the amplifiers in real time, if they're overheating, if anything's wrong, and also add delay to them and turn components off. This laptop is running a software called Smart, which is giving me real-time feedback on the acoustics of the venue. So also the actual loudness of the venue. So I get a dB reading here.